Welcome to Module 2, the Information Assets. I'm A.K. Ashokan. The information assets, anything worth to an organization, be it hardware or software, people, process, everything comes under the organizational assets. The most valuable assets to an organization is the information. So the devices, softwares, the applications running in the organization, the data which the application is creating, the personnel, the people who are working in the organization, the building, business processes, other properties, everything is information assets. The next assets are devices. Devices are the computers, the servers, the tablet, the PCs, laptops, and mobile phones. Any device which we use for our business is an asset. Modem, printers, routers, and other devices. IDS, IPS, and firewall that protect the perimeters are physical assets. We have a separate section for physical security. There we will discuss this concept in depth. Bring your own device, BYOD. The employees can bring their own device to be used in the corporate environment. Software and applications. Every organization will have many software and applications running in the organization. These assets have to be protected and also maintained periodically, updating with patch management. See, every concept like patch management and everything what we discuss here in this module, we will discuss this in depth in other modules as well. The application servers such as web servers, FTP, and mail servers running inside the organization are also organizational assets. Data. When we discuss the data, we need to understand the life cycle of the data. The data creation is the first step. Once we created the data, we use it for business purposes. Then we back it up for later use and we archive it for permanent storage. Once the data life cycle, the period is over, for example 6 years or 7 years or 8 years, then the data destruction come into picture. The data destruction is a big topic we need to discuss because it is not deleting that. Once you delete a file, nothing happens to the content. The content will still be there in the hard disk. We have asset classification and we have data classification. In module 5, we are going to understand this in detail. Asset classification is different from data classification, and asset classification should match the data classification as well to provide the access control. So here three things. One is the data classification and the asset classification and access control. These are bigger topics we will be discussing in module 5. If the computer holds secret data, the computer should be classified as secret classification. So when we do the asset classification, the classification of the data and the classification of the assets, both are important. The backup tape also must be secured according to the classification of the data it holds. Supposing we have two backup tapes, one very confidential data, the second one is not that much important data. Then the security has to be given to both these tapes in a different way, not the same way. Sensitive cases must be identified and also must be labeled according to the data classification it deals with. Labeling is very important. Again, this we will be discussing in module 5. Personnel. The people are the weakest link in the security chain. It is not intentional because the life of the people is very important. If the life is under threat, then people will be forced to reveal the secrets. So that's why we say people are the weakest link in the information security chain. With social engineering, a smart hacker may get passwords or other sensitive information from personnel. Social engineering is nothing but trapping the people by talking to them or impersonating and using the weakness of the individual to get the passwords and sensitive information from him. Some of the remedies for securing assets are implementation of physical security, strong multi-factor authentication, least privilege, need to know. All the physical security types like fencing, lighting, security guards, trained dogs, all that we will discuss in the physical security in later chapter. Strong multi-factor authentication, single-factor authentication and multi-factor authentication, we'll be discussing this again. Least privilege is nothing but the privilege given to a person only to that extent of executing his job. That is what is least privilege. Need to know is the concept. Even if you have the privilege, there should be something need to know also associated so that the person or the subject can access certain classified details. Asset value and asset cost. Asset value is worth of the asset and asset cost is the monetary value to purchase or develop it. That's it. What there are two terms here, the value and the cost. Value means it is the worth of the asset. Cost means the monetary value to purchase or develop it. Asset categories. The categories are infrastructural assets and informational assets. The systems, devices such as routers, switches, monitoring devices, etc. comes under infrastructural assets, and the data is classified based on the importance of the content that comes under informational assets. So in either case, proper identification of the assets is important, and CIA, confidentiality, integrity and availability should not be compromised. So let's go to the concept challenges. There will be 5 questions. Question number 1. Data creation, usage, archival and destruction. Data life cycle. Question number 2. The weakest link in the security chain. I'm sure you know this. It's human. Question number 3. The monetary value to purchase or develop an asset. The monetary value to purchase or develop an asset is asset cost. The worth of an asset is asset value. Question number 4. To provide the right access control to assets, they have to be classified. Question number 5. Assets classified based on how critical it is for the organization is infrastructural assets. Thank you for watching. Let's move on to module 3.